Hello, everybody. My name is Lawrence Johnson. I am identified by myself as African American, Asian American, Irish American, and Native American because I have descents from those areas. Now, what I want to refer to today is Native American. Native American is still seen in the academic world as Indian, and right now, it's starting to piss me off. The situation in which this was brought up. I am in college right now and I'm taking a Native American history course. However, what I've seen in the Native American history course is that my professor refers to Native Americans as American Indian. The whole course is named American Indian Experience. History 108, the American Indian Experience. And that is completely inaccurate. During one of the classes, my professor decided to have us all look at a picture. It showed American soldiers fighting Native American warriors. And the picture was to be analyzed. Now, I have no problem analyzing a picture. I have no problem with, depicting and seeing the differences between a picture. It's boring, but I still do it. So I decided to, raise my hand, tell her what I saw. And it didn't end well. It actually ended rather horribly for me because when I raised my hand, I tried to describe the soldiers and the natives as American, and she did not accept it. I said that I was confused of what I should refer to them as in this picture because to identify one group as American and another group as not American would be incorrect. And she said to me that it was wrong to refer to each person as American because at the time the American government was separate from the indigenous culture. So what I asked was, why are they still being called American Indian if they're natives though? She says that American Indian was okay to be used, that we're using them in the terms of how white people saw natives at that time period. So throughout the class, she continues to refer to natives as American Indians, and I'm sitting there as a native wondering why the heck she continues to do that. So instead of staying in the class, I walked out because I didn't feel like continuing this conversation with her in the middle of a class and interrupting her teaching process and staying there and continue to be stereotyped and continue to be insulted. So I left the class and I took it up with the dean of the history department as soon as possible and scheduled an appointment. Today I had the appointment. It also did not end well. And not because we got into a heated argument. It didn't end well because it was not the professor or the dean's problem. It literally goes down into what we define a Native American to be today. It is widely accepted by the academic community to use Native American and Indian interchangeably, and that's not okay. Within the right context, American Indian can be used. It can be used when you are referring to an Indian that lives in America, or you're referring to an American that is of Indian descent. However, that term is not accurate for Native American. and it should not be used anymore. We are in 2016. That term should not continue to be used. It should only be used when you are referring to how it was intended to be used at the beginning and how it was misused continuously. The problem is within the academic world and through constant reformation of the word and reusage of the word in textbooks and history books and speeches and academic sources and primary sources and just just through classrooms, we still use Indian like it's okay, and we should not be doing that. I'm tired of being referred to as Indian when I have not ever been to India, and neither have, at least I don't believe, any of my former descendants. Um, maybe they have actually a couple of times. Maybe they did go to India, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I mean, like planes weren't all the way back there, so I mean, like I'm not too sure. But the point is, they're not Indian. They were Native American, and if they were to go to India and say I'm Indian, they would be no, you're wrong. You're Native American. If anything, you're savage American, or you're not. You're not Indian. No Indian is going to tell me that I'm Indian. They're going to tell me that I'm Native American. At least I hope they tell me I'm Native American, because that's the most accurate portrayal. Now, if you continue to use a term that's not accurate within an academic setting, you set the impression that it is continuously acceptable within natural society, that you can continue to call American Indians, and you can continue to say American Indian like it's an accurate statement, and it's not an accurate statement. You have to adjust. You cannot continue to use the same statement that Christopher Columbus, who thought he was in India, continued to use to describe the natives that were there. It's not accurate. In a matter of fact, the whole purpose behind putting a dash in between the indigenous culture and where you came from to American is because you live there now and you have ancestors that live somewhere else. And the difference between me saying that I'm American and saying that I'm Native American is because I am American. I live in America, making me American. I'm an American citizen. However, I am Native American because my ancestors, tracing back all the way to when they first colonized here, were first here before Europeans ever got there. So me saying that I'm Native is completely accurate. And it's not wrong. It's not offensive. It's just you're Native. Your relatives were natives here. That's accurate. However, you say American Indian does not mean anything. And Indian is not equivalent to indigenous. It does not mean the same thing. If you look up Indian in the dictionary, it does not mean indigenous. It does not even come close to phonetically or through Latin roots or any of that stuff. It just doesn't translate like that. It doesn't ever translate as that. And it will never translate as that. And I was told that once before, and that was completely stupid for somebody to try and tell me. Point is, you shouldn't be using it in the academic setting. Now, the reason I put this in a video as opposed to a post on Facebook or something that I was going to put through an Instagram or something like that, the reason I put it in the style of a video is because I know more people like to hear the message rather than necessarily going into the reading of the message, which is completely fine. I'm okay with having to say it out loud for you guys to hear it. I hope there are some people out there who feel the same as me so that we can get this changed. I don't know. I can't do it on my own, and I'm not even going to try to do it on my own. I'm trying to reach people who want to change it. So if you're out there, help me change it. If you're not interested in changing it, then at least be aware. Don't be ignorant. It's not necessary when you have the information right in front of you. Please share this with somebody else. Please share this with your mom, your family, your friends. I don't need fame. I don't need to be known as Lawrence Johnson, the first person who said this, because I'm not the first person who said this. This gets from people who are tired of hearing it. I'm just the person who's putting it out there again. So please share this with people. Share this with your friends, share this with your family, and everybody who is Native American. I feel like you should watch this, because don't accept ignorance as a way to define who you are. It's not okay, especially within an academic setting where other people are learning this for themselves. And don't let your kids grow up with this either. We are 2016. I do not want my kid growing up with this. You shouldn't want your kid growing up with this either. We need to be more accurate with how we're teaching our kids, with what terms we are teaching our kids as well. And we need to be more accurate with the way that we are depicting people within history, because they are not being fairly and justly depicted. It's not all about perspectives. You can be accurate, and you now have a choice to make. Continue to do what you're doing, or try and make a difference. And I want to make at least a little bit of a difference. Even if this reaches one person, I'll be okay. Because somebody's going to change. And if I'm not the one to do it, somebody else down the line is going to do it. And I'm going to be proud of whoever it is that does it. All right? So thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the 10 minutes and, well, about to be 11 minutes for hearing me speak about this. Even though I mumble and I stutter and I have big old lips and blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm sorry about that. I look a little bit crazy. My hair's a mess. It's frizzy out here in California. So, just, I don't know, take your heritage seriously, guys. Take it seriously, because if you don't, nobody else will.